Meet Greg Giraldo, a very famous insult comic. In this video, I'm going to show you how his name influenced him becoming an insult comic, how it manifested him that way. I'm going to show you a little bit of the past life stuff, and I'm going to show you exactly how and when he died and the numerological codes behind it. It was very, very clear. So let's jump right into it. Now the backstory in this is I kept seeing this guy on my Instagram feed. I watched some of his videos. Very, very harsh, crosses the line, shocking in the way that he speaks, and he's always being shown roasting celebrities. These are all important pieces of information that are all found in his chart. So let's jump right in. When I pulled up his chart, I was expecting to see the number 3 because number 3 is a number of the comedian. And I was not disappointed. So this is his birth date, and this is the year, the month, and the day. So you can see right away, there it is, the year. The year is the bottom of his psyche. It's the bottom layer. It's also considered to be past life knowledge you're bringing into this life. Now what's interesting about 21-3 is a couple things. Number one, it's associated with people who have to grow up kind of quickly. They're not really able to enjoy their childhood, which that plays a role, which we're going to get into in a minute, why he was so harsh. Number 2 is called the eternal student. Now, I found some interesting stuff about Greg. I did a quick back check on this guy. And apparently, he said from an early age, education was a top priority. He did so much school that he actually ended up going to Harvard and getting a law degree. So you can see that very clearly. The 21-3 is very playing a major role. And in his quotes, he talked about how he wanted to do it to make his parents proud. This is a very, very typical 3 thing. Number 3 sticks very close to their parents. Because why? 1 is the father, 2 is the mother, and 3 is the child. And they are on a single row in the number square, which is a whole other topic I'm not getting into, but take it for granted. Number 3s very much like to follow the belief systems of their parents. Okay, now then his month is a 3 as well. That creates this 33-6. Dharma line, it's sometimes called. It's a core life theme in his life. It's also a summary of who he is beneath the conscious awareness, which is the day vibration. And what makes this really important is his name. These are the name charts. This is the vowels, emotional body. This is the consonants, the etheric body. This is the full name, and this is the physical body. This is the personality chart, and this is a very heavily associated with career. It's how you focus your energy into the world, and also shows how people see you. And there's the 33-6 as the main expression for his personality. It's showing that this 33-6, which is vertically integrated here, is really a big reason why he pursued a career. Number 1 in education, because 3s love education, we already mentioned, but as an influencer. It's not a mistake that he pivoted from being a student of law to being an influencer. He also has other celebrity numbers here, which is the 15-6, which is his main brand number. It's not any 15-6, it's a 23-5 and a 10-15-6. 10 is an amplifier. 23-5 is the royal star of the lion. If you ever see this number in your charts or any other people, this is a very, very fortunate number. It's also a very, very charismatic number. Pop stars have it, celebrities have it. It's a very, very charming number. So this number 23-5, we're going to get back into that in a minute when we get into this network of celebrities. Let's finish with a 3. So we mentioned the 33-6 here. It's also here, the 33-6 in the pillar number, which is one of the layers of his root chakra, which is how his emotional body is polarized, how it comes into sync. It's a core foundation, a core theme. And it's on top of it is the 21-3 again, which again you can see his last name. This is the ancestral karma that he was given, and it's a very, very beneficial number. So while he had his faults, which we'll get into, you can see why he was so successful. He had a lot of positive numbers in his name. So if you don't know, the name is how your potential, which is your birth date, is manifested into the world. If you're born as an IndyCar driver as the potential, but you're given a Ford Pinto as a name, you're going to have this potential, but you're going to be limited. versus if you're given a Lamborghini or a Ferrari potentials, you're going to be able to have a nice seamless expression. So while he did have a lot of positive numbers, he had a lot of issues as well. We're going to get into that in a moment as well. So the 3 we can see. Now, that would explain the comedian. Now, why the insult comic? And there's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, I have to give a shout out to my friend Peter, a fellow peer who was doing his master's Chaldean certification along with me when I was doing it. And during the course, he was studying comedians, and what he found was the guys who were speaking very raunchy and very, very over the line had 13.4 or 31.4 energy in their makeup. So if you look at this guy's chart, here, this is the bottom layer. So all these charts stack on top of each other. This is the bottom absolute core, is inner psyche or inner essence. Here is the 13.4, how his mind flowed in the outside world, 13.4. Here is his mindset. There again is the 13.4. 13.4 is translated as his challenge number, sometimes it's called, the outer potential of his outer psyche. And it's connected to this 5, which is telling you more of the story of the 13.4. So the 5 is the number of the entertainer. So you have the 13.4 as a insult comic entertainer. And then finally, the 31.4 is the core. So all this 13.4 energy is vertically integrated down into a core life theme. So this is his destiny number, and this is the pillar number beneath that destiny. It's the kind of the foundation, a big theme around that destiny number. So both 9 with this 31.4 makes it even more harsh. We're going to get into the 9 in a minute. 31.4, 13.4. Why is it insult? Because 3 is expression. 1 is a very direct expression, and 4 is something shocking, outside the box. 4 is innovation, but something that's very, very eccentric. So it's a very direct, raw expression that shocks you. That's why 31.4 and 13.4 are associated with that. Now, the second reason ties into this 9, the harshness. This is his solar plexus. In this chart, this is the bottom layer, the core potential of his solar plexus. 99, 18, 9. So I would guess that this education that was kind of pushed onto him by his parents, because 21.3 also is associated with somebody who has to grow up fast, who doesn't really get to enjoy being a kid. When you put that in combination with this inner child 9 here, in this 18.9, this shows a lot of pressure. Someone who was probably pressured from a very young age, who felt like they had to fight and had to struggle. But more importantly of all, the 18.9 here is showing somebody who struggles with feeling their emotions, because the 9 is very, very harsh. So somebody who speaks to themselves on the inside and feels very, very harshly to themselves. And here we have it translated over to the 3, which is a very masculine number. 3 is not bad in the centers, but you want to have some feminine numbers to balance it out. But this is coming off the back of an 18.9. Going further, we have the 9 in the solar plexus again with a 10. And 10 sucks up the energy around it and amplifies it. This is like a 9 on steroids. And it's in combination with 12. And so 12 is a number of anxiety. It's a number of worry. It's a number of low self-esteem and a little bit of paranoia as well. And that ties into this 9 with a 16.7, double 9 here, 16.7 and 11. And there's a 12.3 again right on the name line. And the pillar number, the 39.3, adds to a 12 is again. So 12 is one of the top anxiety numbers, along with 16.7. A lot of anxiety, low self-esteem potential here with the 11 right in the name line. And with the 9 here, it makes it so harsh. And then finally, the last layer, the 9 and the 8. 8's very cynical, cold, detached, which is amplified by the 9, which again is right here as the destiny number, or the main human identity. So what we have here is a story of somebody who has difficulty feeling good on the inside. They can't really give that to themselves, because 9 in imbalance, especially amplified in this way. They cut themselves off from number 2, which is the emotions and empathy, and from number 6, which is the ability to have self-love. Why 9 is associated with the simp and the drug addict is because as the simp, it's not a simp from a 9 perspective. They are buying an asset that they can control and use to help them to feel good. The drugs is the same way. So what you have here is somebody with a lot of stress, a lot of harshness on the inside. And look at this, a 7 life path. 7s in imbalance, when they get stressed out, they go and they do escapism. They lose themselves in movies, in some sort of fantasies, TV shows, music, in imbalance, drugs, also sex. You'll see a lot of porn stars with a number 7. Number 7 is someone who will use mind-altering substances, especially with the 16-7 here. So somebody who had the harshness and then used mind-altering substances, drugs basically, to help them to feel good and escape the harshness of the inner world. Now, why he was so successful despite all this, as mentioned, we have a lot of the vertical integration, the 33 down here, in the 3 here, 33 pops up. The name line is very good, but the problem is it's not fully balanced. But the 23-5, the 24-6 main theme of his essence, 24-6 is here again, also 33-6, 33-6, and 33-6. These numbers show somebody who is an easy time of networking with people that they can profit from, specifically people in power and in higher echelons of society. And all the videos I've seen of this guy is he became famous for roasting celebrities. He would be invited to these celebrity roasts where he would just go in on these people. So an influencer connected to celebrities who had a really, really good network, a lot of positive things, which is why they're famous, very, very successful. Harvard law degree. Law is seen with number 3. A lot of the 3, 33-6, and all that we've already mentioned. Now, why did he pass away and when? This is where it gets very, very interesting. So, he passed away in 2010 on September 29th. All of these numbers play a role in his passing. So, I'm going to go through those quickly, and then I'm going to give you the punchline at the end. So, number 1. He passed away in 2010. See a similarity between his birth year, 21. It's a 3 universal year. He was born in a year that adds to a 3. Now, why that's important is because, number 1, if you haven't seen my Andrew Tate case study, he was arrested when his personal birth year, when he was born, lined up with a universal year. I did a case study on another gentleman who had a major head injury, who is actually affected the way they think, when his year that he was born in lined up with the universal year. Whenever the year that you are born in lines up with the universal year, there's going to have a high potential for a major life event. Now, it was also destiny period number 3. The first year means he just transitioned into his destiny period number 3, which activated his year. And this 12, which it activated as well, 12 is a number associated with self-sabotage and self-abuse. We mentioned the 9 and the harshness, which is connected to the 12 in several ways. The 12 there, the 9 and the 12 here, and 12 here in the position of his lesson number, self-sabotage, self-abuse. There's more. He passed away on the 29th of September. Now, September is the 9th month of the year. If you haven't seen my Hulk Hogan case study, which is on my Substack as well, he passed away, and the number 9 played a major role in his passing. Why 9? 9 is associated with completion, the end of a cycle, and the beginning of a new cycle as well. So, the 9th month of the year. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. He was in a 44-8 major period, and within that a sub-period of 44-8 here. Now, why is that important? Well, there are 3 karmic penalty numbers in Chaldean numerology, in traditional. 44-8, 48-3, and 88-7. You can see 44-8 was connected to his core essence. This is his month, this is his year. And if we put his month, and this is his day, if we put them on a name line, this is his month, this is his day, this is his year. There it is, the 44-8. That means there is a potential in his birth date that culminates in a 44-8. Number 2, I mentioned that 48-3 is also a karma penalty number. This destiny period 3, universal year 3, activated the 3. What's inside of his year? The 48 is in essence. karmic penalty number 2. Now, he passed away on the 29th day. Why is that important? Well, here is a little secret. So if you put it on his name on a name line, Gregory Carlos Giraldo, and simply remove the spaces, we're going to get to see what the pyramid looks like. And what the pyramid is showing is that there's karmic potential bundled up in this name, which starts out as these individual vibrations that over time start to come together into a unified resonance, which in this guy's case ends up as a 2911 at the very, very top. This is why it's so important when you're designing names. You have to pay attention to the pyramid number. It's no mistake why, for example, if you haven't seen my Coca-Cola case study, why they are the longest running, most successful brand in the world, multi-billion-dollar company. How they set up their pyramid created a self-sustaining success. I'm not going to reveal that secret in this video. You have to watch the Coca-Cola video for that secret. So he passed away on 29th. Now, 29 is a number of stress. 2 and 9, water and fire. It's one of the top stress combinations in a combination with 16 and 12. Those are the top ones, but especially 9 and 2. He passed on 29th through a drug overdose. What does that tell you? That the stress on that day was extraordinarily high, which is why he took extra drugs, which is why it killed him. Now, the karmic penalty is basically, here comes the punchline. He failed his lesson, which was about the self-sabotage, and because he was taking drugs, it activated the karmic penalty essence potential in his chart, which is why he passed away in a 44-8 major period at 44 years old in a 44 subperiod. He died at 44 years old, 44-8 major period, 44 subperiod, activating the 3 energy, which activated the 48, due to self-sabotage drug abuse. And that is why he passed away when he did. It's all in the numerology. And it was all driven because his name was imbalanced. This is potential. This is like if someone's born as an IndyCar driver, but they're given a Ford Pinto, they're going to have the IndyCar driver potential, but they're going to be limited versus giving them a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. We mentioned he has a lot of good potential, which is why he was famous, successful, wealthy, well-educated, but because he was imbalanced, it wasn't balanced all the way. He ended up abusing drugs, self-sabotaging, which led to karmic penalty and passing away, arguably at an early age. Now, age 44 is pretty early, which means he didn't get to live out his full life. This is why it is so important to have your name in a resonance for your birth date. For example, these 18-9, this 3, we want to bring in some nice energies in the solar plexus in the name chart, not these harsh 16-7 and 9, 8 and 9, the amplified 9 with the 10-1 here. This is just going to amplify the bad potential from his birth chart. So while the name had a lot of potential, it ultimately ended up killing him probably earlier than he was supposed to go. So I am currently doing readings where I'm analyzing your birth date and your name and how they come together and what you need to be aware of, and also solutions that you can take away based on your setup. I'm doing those readings right now, 28-minute readings, $55. It's a very, very good price, what I'm doing for a limited time to help people and get this information out there, because it is so important. I can't tell you how many case studies I've done and readings where I've seen the name cause heart attacks, head injuries, major life circumstances. Health problems is a really big one I've seen, and also blocking wealth potential and other potential that's in the essence chart, but it can't get out because the name locks it up. So almra.com, AAUMMRA is where you can book the reading. If you're not following me on Substack and you want more information like this that you can use to help understand yourself better and also other people in your life, it's free to subscribe. It's my central hub for all my free content, case studies, blogs, podcasts at substack.com/@Almra. Questions, comments, leave them underneath this video. Wishing you the best. Happy manifesting. Until next time, God bless. Om.